Today on Politics in Focus, lawmakers negotiating a new stimulus plan and how to safely reopen college campuses this fall. We hear what Delaware State University plans to do involving COVID-19 testing. That's our focus today on Politics in Focus. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm Jennifer Lewis Hall. A focus for many people in the Delaware Valley and really across the country is, of course, the possibility of getting more help for themselves and their families amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, as negotiations between the White House and congressional leadership continues on Capitol Hill, both sides are looking for consensus on the next COVID relief package. A major sticking point, negotiations thus far have been the extension of federal unemployment benefits. They expired last Friday. Our Washington correspondent Morgan Wright reports on the battle between Democrats, Republicans, and the White House.
With extra unemployment benefits already expired, Democrats say they're united in their efforts to bring them back.
At least for the next several months, if not longer, until this economy recovers.
Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy says the increased consumer spending created by the benefits is staving off an economic disaster.
Not only are people going to go hungry, literally, but the entire economy will collapse.
Murphy rejects the GOP plan to cut the federal unemployment benefits by $400 per week, but says finding an alternative plan is difficult.
We just don't even have anybody to negotiate with on the Republican side yet because they're so all over the map.
Senate Democratic leader Senator Chuck Schumer says negotiations are progressing, but still have a long way to go.
There are lots of things that we're still divided on, and we're not close to an agreement yet.
Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says there are areas of agreement.
Things like the PPP, I think there's enormous bipartisan support. Things about checks in the mail.
But major roadblocks remain.
Democrats right now are insisting on over $1 trillion to the state and local governments. That's something that we're not going to do.
I'm not optimistic that there will be a solution in the very near term.
Lawmakers only have a week to strike a deal before running into a scheduled month-long recess. Reporting in Washington, I'm Morgan Wright.
Well, joining us now to talk about the impact to our region, the Tri-State, is Dan Hernandez, certified financial planner with Lincoln Investment. Hey, Dan.
Good morning, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being with us. Well, nationally, we've seen record numbers when we talk about unemployment claims, and the impact in our area. Now, nationally, before we get to the local impact, I saw that nearly about 50 million Americans have reportedly filed for unemployment, and obviously here, a number of people in need of those funds as well.
Yeah, we recently broke a 15-week string where the filings got lower and lower for 15 consecutive weeks, and now the last couple of weeks, the unemployment filings nationally have gone up. So things have kind of leveled off a little bit. Nationally, we're sitting at about 11% unemployment. Pennsylvania, as of June, is a little higher, probably closer to 13.
These are big numbers, though. There's a lot of need. And, we're looking at, again, another round of stimulus. None of us really knows, exactly how all of this is going to go. Some folks are saying on the GOP side of things that this is going to bring more to families, individuals, possibly college students. On the Democratic side, they're saying more stimulus is needed potentially in many areas. What's the sense that you feel may be a compromise here? And this is sort of, as we know, some of these numbers and some of this information coming out, as we say, around August 5th. More to be said and known, but what are you thinking?
Well, what both sides agree on is that we still need stimulus. And it looks like one way or another, everyone's going to get a check if you qualify. And by qualifying, if you're single, and your income's under $75,000, if you're married under $150,000, and those numbers, can vary. But the same people that got stimulus checks a couple months ago are going to get them again, and those checks are going to be anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200. You're going to get checks per dependent child, and again, that's kind of being defined again as well. So those are the areas that both sides agree on. What they don't agree on, obviously, is the unemployment bonus, and that's more of a fundamental difference. The Democrats are saying that the economy needs this unemployment because retail spending has been very good actually the last couple months, fueled by those unemployment bonuses. The GOP is saying no, that these higher unemployment bonuses are actually a disincentive to go back to work, and people aren't going to work because they're making more money unemployed. So that's a fundamental difference in philosophy, and that's where the difference lies right now.
And do you feel that if this is something that's going to move forward, that it would be extended through the end of the year, and then does it start all over again? You know, will there be more rounds of stimulus that are needed? Clearly, there's a lot of folks that need to say they're paying their mortgage, they're paying their rent. We've seen the stories. They're saying, how can I continue without this?
Yeah, I think one way or another, you're right. This is going to extend beyond 2020. The current package will probably extend it through the end of the year, and then there'll be more meetings and more stimulus. But just fundamentally, looking at the unemployment numbers having leveled off, a lot of these jobs just aren't coming back. Hospitality industry. I mean, locally, you go downtown in Philadelphia, you see, a lot of restaurants boarded up, not just closed temporarily, but they're not coming back. So these jobs are going to take a while to come back. And I don't think economically we're going to be out of the woods, by January 1st. So there'll probably be more.
And on top of that, of course, we've got the upcoming election. So a lot of pieces in play. Dan Hernandez, thank you so much for being with us.
Jen, thanks for having me.
You bet. When we come back, Delaware State University announces its reopening plan, what officials there are saying they're going to do to ensure the safety of their students. That's next.